depression, uh, some of these things are natural encounters. Anxiety is something that we have to live with. Depression is something that can be situational that we have to experience. But I think for us, because we grow up in areas that are without certain things, homes that don't have the proper guidance in certain areas, or our parents may be depressed, a lot of the things that happen to us in the developmental stages of our brain. And so what happens is by the time we become full adults, we've already developed a perceived way that the world is going to treat us or how we should treat ourselves. For example, if a child is crying as a child and no one comes to relieve that child of what is causing that child to cry, instinctively the child will stop crying because in his mind there's no one coming. And there's often times where you see children that have died and the cause of death will be failure to thrive, right? And I think those us as a people, we're spiritually and morally dead because we have a failure to thrive. We haven't been introduced to a truth that will give us life to thrive. And so as it deals with mental health, I think for Black people, we've reached a course in our history where we cannot mask or we cannot cope with the trinkets of this world to ease our soul. And so I think mental health is very much so related to spiritual health. And I think this is why it's so important that Islam, which is peace, that our people be introduced properly to Islam as taught by the most honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to relieve us of some of those traumatic experiences, those misconceptions. I like to call them error thoughts, how we treat people and how we treat ourselves as well. One thing on this note here, Brother Willie, that I recently thought about, I said, man, with all of these influencers, social media, very few of us, and I don't like to generalize, but there's a large percentage of young people and adults. A lot of us don't have a lot of original thoughts. The reason I say that is because every time